My name is Vladimir Chopin, and I am a programmer for many years. I love to share my passion with other creators. In this video, I want to show you how you can create easy your super agents. If you don't know something or you're missing, it's okay, because I will cover every single step to let you create. You can create a fully functional, working website. To start building our agents, we need to have our Workbench. It's a preset of the tools that we're going to use. As a main IDE, we're going to use the Visual Studio Code. Links for all resources down below. Download it for your Windows or Mac. Another thing what I recommend for you to download it is Python. This will be primarily language. We're going to use it as we build our agents. What we need to download it is Ollama. By our projects, we're going to use it on multiple different models on purpose to showing you how you can connect to all of them. Ollama, it is allowed to run large language models directly on your computer. You can disconnect from internet and run everything locally. Another thing what we recommend to install, it's a Git. Git, it's a versioning system, but also allows you to save and back up your code for free on a GitHub, just to prevent accidental damage. So we're going to use APIs, a special type of the key we need to put it in, which allowed us to connect to another online services. Stability.ai. This will allow us to create images, and another ones from the cloud. You can use it Gemini, you can use it OpenAI, whatever you prefer. You can even run everything with Ollama. But for the example, we'll take one of the big dog, Stable AI, which I like, Stability AI. We'll come back a little bit later here to get our API keys. For now, let's go to our Visual Studio. After you install it and run, you'll have it like this screen, which does not open any folders. And if you're creating, we can go open folder. I'll just have a folder called agent. So we're going to work on this. After we create the folder, we need to start set up our environment and type cmd as a command prompt. This is just for the global, and we'll just put it Python version. And right here, you can see I have it version installed. Click on this toggle panel. It's open button panel. And you can see right here, we have it all different. We want to go in terminals as it's open. Let's copy paste here. We have it Python installed. If for some reason it does not showing and you know you installed, probably you forgot to click add Python to the path as installation. So you can do this or run and add to the path manually. And you can run Ollama in multiple ways. So run from typing command prompt like we did before. And in here, you can also just go and says run Llama or Ollama. You can see it start. When you start for first time, it will take a little bit time to download it Ollama 3 model. And it's about 4.6 gigabyte. So be sure you have enough space. And if you're on slow connections, it may take a little bit time. Let's check to be sure our model is working. I'm just saying, hello, are you working? Okay, it's working. The one I'm going to do, it's called Python MV environment. So we'll set our virtual environment. Virtual environment allowed us to have all the settings in one place and don't conflict with some other settings in another areas. So I'll just type this and press enter. Notice what we have here. It's come up error. And I know this is maybe look very ugly, but in reality, actually, it's a simple. It's probably some command going and got interrupt. So let's go do this, remove R, and we're going to our virtual environment to remove it. We'll do this, and we'll just try rerun this again one more time. So notice right now, it's actually running properly. It's running. Our toolbox almost ready. Yes. So let's go ahead now, open this, and we'll go to activate our environment. If you look on the side, you see the .env. It's meaning our environment is activated. If we're going to open another PowerShell, you'll notice right here, we don't have it. So we need it in some case activate in another area as well. So one small tip for you. Sometimes Windows have a special protection against running Python. So if this is happening, most likely you'll just need to go to app execution aliases, just type in a start, going down where it says app installer Python, and uncheck those just for the times when we're going to install it, and you can check them back on. This is just safeguard, but in our case, it's blocking it may be to work with your Python. Our next step, install the libraries. Libraries, it's already pre-built code, but we can use it. And we're going to use a special one, LangGraph. LangGraph, it's like the supervisor engine because we're going to use it a multi-agents. We're going to use it specific agents. And well, let's go roll back. So what's happening here? You have the manager, yes? You have the project manager who says, I want to build website. And he assigns who does what. But under him, you also have a different role. So you have the designer, you have it who designs site, you have it coder, you have it artists who make images, you have it, all of these positions who does. It is organized. It's like have a board with him, whiteboard, and write all instructions, what need to be done, and pass them along in specific order because you don't want a tester test your code before even design done. LangGraph, it is a supervisor engine. It runs our workers in specific orders and critical know to loop and send work back, redo fail work. So it's kind of will analyze because it is probability. It does not necessarily create exactly the same code. So we'll have it special checkers and they check. And if the code is wrong, that will report our LangGraph and the look on this and says, okay, you redo this job again. So it is work very well. So this is one that because we're using with LangGraph, it's have its own plugin. It's a LangChain Anthropic, so it specifically work with our cloud model. Next, LangChain Ollama that allowed kind of connector working directly with our Ollama service. We have the core one that for sure plumbing. We have it Python.net, which is teeny tiny help us work with APIs with secret password, just pass around, and requests, another one module, which is will help us to send requests on the internet and get it back. We'll just go pip install, and we have at least all inlines, and you can see it's installed. Sometimes maybe come up with error. The best way to do just to rerun and see if error literally was there or it was just related to maybe outdated pip installer, which I probably will have it here. Like right there, see, it says you have that. So let's go update this. I'm just copying this recommend command and we'll just go paste. So now we have it update. Kind of mention about this APIs, a secret key that let identify you on the server. So it can go buzz back and forward. So be sure when you create those codes, save them. And they will look a little bit different. On some, you're allowed to come back and copy them over. On some other ones, you don't. You create it, and if you forgot or you lost, you need delete and recreate brand new. Now we want to create a special file, which will be hidden when we use it Git, so nobody will see it. And there we'll store those secret keys, so nobody can access it, only us can use it. We just click dot, it's will hidden, and we'll just put it dot environment. So it's creating this empty file for us. Name it them, and one will be anamorphic API keys, and I will just paste those SK. It's usually start with SK and key here, and this one for the stability. We install Visual Code, we install Python, we verified Python is work, we install Ollama and check with the Ollama, so the model and everything is working. We are created our API keys and we safely put them inside our environment file. So we are ready now to create actually agents by itself. Even agents, they have a special protocol to communicate between each other. And let's call these agents the designer, reviewer, the gatekeeper, the artist, but they still need pass information to each other. While designer is produce code, reviewers need to read this code. Artists need to know about original requests. In LangGraph, all workers read and write from a single shared object called state. So the state is like a clipboard that's physically handed, and the workers write all this information and pass from there. So it's read what is on the clipboard, it does its job, it's write the result back to our clipboard, and then it's hands to whoever supervisor said it's going to next. To create state Python, we can use agentic coding. Agentic coding, it's when we can have, for example, let me close this one, and depend on what you're using, but in this, for example, Claude, we'll just type what we wanted, and Claude will create this code and put for us. It's much faster now to produce as Agentic. I'm going to just paste right here, and it says create file. It's what we needed. We'll call it state.python, and we'll also says what we need create inside. When we're done, let's go ahead, send this. When we're done, let's say yes. First, we have it from typing import type direct and annotate. Well, Python normally let you to put anything anywhere, which is very flexible, but extremely dangerous, mostly in a multi-workers environment. TypeDict is a dictionary. It's a label list of values. So it's what we define here. That is allowed to write in specific slot names, holding those exactly kind of the data. It's also defined like a type, so it's not number, it's a string, it's a list of strings. So this is a type. Let's create next robot. And that's what we do. We'll create all those special agents. What we're using is deterministic. It's a need to be have it exactly same input, same process, same output every single time. If it doesn't do, it means it's have a bug inside. Reliable agents system, it's a never let AI to grade its own homework. Instead, it's build a tool, a small, dumb, rule-based piece of ordinary code that AI must pass through. It's like a template. Does it work? Yes. And let's continue. Tool.python, and we can go inside, click right here, plus, and you can just type. Instead, what I say, I will just create with Agentic. So we'll just go there, and you can see it's a create a file name, Python. So it is sent to us, and look how fast it is. So let's go click yes, and there we have it, our file created. All tools, everything seems like right here in order. So let's go ahead and look a little bit on what it actually does. Let's go walk a little bit through our code. First, we import our OS support and other libraries, so it's a global, some of them. Also notice right here, we importing our LangChain, the tools, it's what we utilize here, and we're accessing some. The tool, this is actually, it's a decor. It's what called, it's a decor. It's a label, place it just above our function. It's take ordinary Python function, and transfer in something that AI can see and use. So if in AI we referring to the tool, it's will use and referring to this specific function, HTML. So this one first, this is what guard against the only specific file names. So it will put in specific locations. In our case, we don't have the directory, but it will create a specific directory. And the next one, it's where write HTML codes. And if we look on this, it's just simple. It says, does it missing style tag? Does it missing HTML? If it does miss, report problem, send back to our manager and tell the AI remake it with those fixes. We're going to create with agents now. Agents Python file where we have our model connections and we'll have our system prompts. And let's go over a little bit of this prompt. This is the create file name agent. So we always want to create a file that import from the tools. It's what we create here. You remember we write the file, so we import, and it's load environment first from what we have it from chat. It's give it all these max tokens, and this one you actually need to look on how many maximum tokens you can use. It depend in cloud, it's maybe a little bit less, a little bit more in other areas. They also will generate a single file, HTML, CSS, JavaScript code. So we kind of define this is almost a product requirement. If you ever work with the coding, you have it your technical requirement, you have it product requirement, and this is it's kind of product requirement from that file what is needed generated. There you go. Let's go click OK. It's beautiful. It's even create all of those prompts. The first right here, it is loading our environment. We're preloading those special libraries, how to connect to anti-profit chat, how to connect to the Ollama. We are importing our tools that we just created before this, our writing files and our link to be sure our HTML code is clean. The next, even we imported, now here we need to load it those environments. And next we're using those parameters. These parameters, they change quite a bit often, surprisingly. For example, before you can see temperature 0, it's how it used to be. With the Anthropic just recently, you can pass, but now they changed, you cannot pass. So if you're writing code by hand, you actually go constantly in documentation and try to find. Most time AIs, they update quite a bit fast to the documentation. And this is another benefit. When you start using like this reference, the agentic coding will already, as long as it's updated model, not some like 5 years old, if it even exists, it's already will have it write documentations and put this inside. So next we have it our information. It's where we're binding our tools to let our agent to know and catalog those tools. This is probably one of the important lines. So if you don't have this, it won't work. And below we have it our designer prompts. So if we're going down, you can see right here, it describing on what HTML we needed, what tags it is. You can go over and modify by yourself also words if you think something is not right. This is will recreate prompt, but most time prompt could be different depending on what service you're using. For Comfy UI Flux model, it's maybe one type. For the SDXL model, maybe different. If you're using, for example, Midjourney, will be slightly different. So it's not necessarily can be same prompt. It will be depend on what model you're going to use. Now we actually needed our supervisor. We needed our manager who will hold all this task, tell what to do, and pass them around. Big one. This is probably the biggest file we do. And this is a file that writes every previous chapter into one living machine. It's about 3 jobs. So it's defined a node for each worker. In a LangGraph, a node, it is one stations or assembly line. While in a plain function, in a plain Python functions that receive a clipboard, the state, does it work, and return it back. And assembly nodes that turn routes into the graph. That's like floor map. Usually it's need be quite a bit description. I like to build in a small steps. You can still doing same with a prompt, just says, hey, add this now, add this to the file, add another ones. But in our case, I'm just going to do what I already pre-built, wrote before, and you can see it's a little bit bigger. But it's same, it's create file supervisor.python, import our agent states, where we have it from state Python. Also, it's need wire the LangGraph here to use it for agents. And we also said what we need to create. Be sure it's a doc HTML format. It's how we create file. It's utilizing some APIs. And here we have it run reverse, so we can review. We have a small helpers that reading. You remember I told about those 3 things. So we also run our artists to say how many images we need to create and where to place them. We also have it our human gatekeeper that is prints estimate how many credits cost, and you'll see this because sometimes you go and maybe comment says, hey, it's needed 20 credits and you don't want to spend this. You maybe rework some of your ideas, but this is actually informed and not necessarily needed for this project, but it's nice to know. And as example, what if you want some human control in some of your other agents? So you want to be sure before AI does something, it's ask you. For example, if you build agents to reply your email, you don't want they just go automatically reply. You want to see what is actually replying. So by installing this gatekeeper as a human, you can go review actions before it's going to next step. Simply, it will pause execution, ask prompt from you, you answer, and whatever based on the prompt, it will continue. So we also have 2 routes assembled as in a state graph, which remember the clipboard. And after we're creating and we're saving this in specific place. So let's go ahead, run this. It's done running code. Let me point before we jump to the file and see how it's work right on the result. For example, when I was coding by myself or write description, I maybe forgot to add element there. Nice things about Agentic, it's actually going over my code and says, hey, you don't ask me, but I added because this specific, for example, some checkup, something I forgot to check on something, or I forgot to add conditions there properly. And usually when I code it, it's what happened. I run, it's a bug and I need to fix it. So this one is actually run for me already kind of like this environment, and it's producing much cleaner code. So let's go look on my supervisor. I'm trying to run this code. 100% will fail. And usually the programmers who can look on a code after and just go and spot some of those errors. You remember I told you about deterministic and probability kind of coding. Right here, for example, I know it will fail because it forgot to put it our environments. So if we don't have those environments, the system won't work because it does not know where is located all some libraries in the elements. So we need to use this. We import and using the artist prompt. You remember we have a prompt from all this. We have it our tools importing. Then we have an endpoint for our stabilities. And we have right here for the peaks, ignore. This is just determine this line, how many images. For example, I can say, put it 5 images there. And instead utilize AI to guess on that. We actually what they say, never used an AI for the job with 1 line rule can do. So it's what we're going with this. We have this rule and it's applied this. And it actually was inside the prompt, if you notice. So next we have our function definitions. The count request images right here. So we're going over how many images I want to create. And right there, this wasn't safeguard originally in my code, and it's AI caught this. and before, actually, right there we can see, and it says, hey, I will put it a minimum 1 image, so it's created just in case if something gone wrong there. So the designer, okay, the run designer, this is actually heart of our machine. This is what is have a full trip to the create, verify, save, and retry cycle, and it's followed the comment. So this is kind of our main function. This, and you can see we have it right here. If prior errors, it will clean or process is going over. We have it our prompt here with our user request, and it says build complete website, and it's partially parsing from our other one from agents here, partially going from this one. So it's a process, it's a send. We have our human message, what we add, HTML content, it's a clear. Next, we run through all the arguments and back. This is our if not HTML, so it must have a doc type HTML in beginning. This is actually passing to Ollama, because before it was working with Claude to create. This is a reviewer. We're using purposely a different model that can look and kind of overview this message. We pass the generated code and ask reviewer Ollama running and give it us result on that. Below this, we have it run human gatekeeper. And in this case, when you run and before create images, it's actually a comment says, hey, do you want to generate 5 images? Do you want to generate this? Because it's cost that many credits. We're not necessarily needed for this application, but I want to include it as example. Just as I said before, you maybe have it emails, yes, and you don't want just send emails. You want showing you approve it, and then it's sent. So this is our gatekeeper here. And below we have it our artist, which is actually connect and create images with a stability AI. This is areas you can also change if you want to do with the local conf UI. But here's what created, passing our keys, send images and receiving them back. Small little bit advice. If you're doing this for work, be sure you utilize Save for Workspace images library. Don't just go to some random, because you don't want get on hot plate. So be sure you use the right services for this. We add to our graph super manager. So we added right here. There you go. We added order. It's need to process. We have it our designer edges. So if it's a reviewer, pass, not pass. We actually have it, I think only 3 times can go before it's timeout. So we don't want to run it forever. We actually compile in the end, and we have it all our if success. Then we print it side. We save it our side and output directory, whatever is specified. So I think it's good. So let's go next. We want to start running. Yeah, it's all we're done on this. In our agent here, we want to be sure we on environment, and we'll just go and run Python supervisor. So never run before. When we just finished build it, I only found one mistake. We fix it. Let's go see how many errors it will give it, because it sometimes does. Well, it's at least ask me what side I want to build it, and let's go say retro 1950s atomic punk. There you go. We have our error come up. That is what we expect. Almost never work from first time. So let's go see what's going on here. And we can do a couple ways. Let me show you the easiest way. You just copy, you're going inside your agents, and you just pass this error. This is what's nice about it. Instead of going over code, many times it's easy. I can see it's a payload, and with experience, you can also just go very fast and find like, oh, we have it here, application and work, most likely. But if we run, this is see its environment placeholder value. But there you go. I forgot to put it our keys. I forgot to put it keys. See how happening? I chat with you guys, and I forgot to put it replace with a real key, and as a result we had error. So let me go replace them. Okay, our key in place. Let's try one more time. Okay, let's go check. We pass linear pass. Good, it's brought HTML. If we go inside output, right here we have our HTML, and now it's come to generate 5 images, which is take that many credits. Yeah, let's go do it. Okay, 5 images. Let's go see if now this is passed. Oh, we have it images. There you go. Images start popping up. Image 1, image 2. Let's go preview. Oh, look on this. Yep, we have it all this atomic. Oh, this is a cool one. We have it all this images start generating. Maybe need to modify it. Oh, there you go. So we have it our stuff. And there's our images here. Side our agents who can generate single page. There you go. We have it our mixers. I'm going to add this to my Git repository. And let me show you how you can do that. Be sure you log in on your GitHub. And in GitHub, what we're going to create a new. Let's create new. And let's call this AI Super Agent. You can name wherever you like it. I will leave it public. I will give you a link down below so you can go actually on this Git repository and get it for yourself. So it'll be right there. We'll leave it on. README. Let's create a README file. For the first, I would recommend for you to do this. Okay, and we're going to create this repository. Others generated. Here you can see it's absolutely empty. Click on a code and copy this path. Let's go back to ours. And in the agents, right there where we have it, this agent, I will just say add this project to my GitHub repo. We're just going right there and I pasted address. Okay, we can also add, which you remember our README was empty, make README file, describe. And you know what? We can do even more fun. Let's say this in details and maybe add some example prompts. To be sure, this is environment file, not included. Notice I did not specify, and usually it will ignore it. So what I'm going to write here to check and see what is included. I have one problem. Okay, where's my Git? Oops, right here. It's keep it history. And if you think your file is not there, you remove it, beware, the file still be sitting in your history of commit. So people can go in a history and find file that you think you deleted. Only way you actually will need to delete your repository and after to add. This is does get ignored. You remember I told you this one pushed my environment was pushed. This and other ones, those is not pushing. It's even my generated side output. I don't want it. And this is very smart about. So if I'm by myself, try to use it here and I will say like git clone. Well, we don't need clone. Git checkout, git push, created special file. It says example. This is, I did not even tell to create example, but it's one big plus of good AI model. It will see what's going on and says, okay, let's create this. I know I'm advocating for agentic approach to coding, but it does literally reduce so many mistakes and errors. Like in this case, it's prevent for setting my secret key, my secret password, and share with everyone on the internet. Let's go refresh right there. And we can see we have our example. Yes, it's that one, which I actually forgot to even tell, but it's nice. It's a have it example, ignore, it's have it our README. README is this exactly file, what you see right here. This is when you rename it. It's covered all the stuff, what we just did with you guys. And look on this, it's also even include links to APIs. Well, it's way better in documentation than me. If you want to take this, all what you need to do, go right here, copy this, and inside your environment, whatever you can create it, git clone, and you paste. And this will take this repository that we're using and put it in your place. So you don't necessarily need to retype everything, but you can study, analyze, and create it your own agents. So be sure you subscribe to this and post comment. Let me know if you ever create your super agent or you're going to create and it's what about. Thank you for watching this video and we'll see you next time. Bye.